Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Josh Oakes, and we are live on so many different networks. It's great to have everyone here. It's good to have you in the room. Hello to everyone who's here. Thank you so much for all the support. This is Josh Oakes, and welcome. So great to have you here today. And we are going to get started here in just 1 minute. Go ahead and if you're live, go in that chat box. We're giving away some Starbucks gift cards. If you ask questions, let us know where you're at. Looking forward to having you here today. So hello, everyone, and welcome. We're here live, and we're going to be starting here in just a moment for everyone. So if you're in there live, hello, everyone. That's in our live webinar software. We're also on Instagram. We're live on YouTube and a bunch of other places. So good to have everyone here. We're going to talk today about how screen time and social media apps are making kids less motivated. We're doing a quick audio test. We're live. Excellent. Great. We're going to do one more quick audio test here for just a sec on smartsocial.com. Thank you so much for joining us today. Social media apps excellent are making kids so here we go motivated. We're doing a quick audio test. We're live. Excellent. Great. We're going to do one more. All right. So we just did smartsocial.com. Great audio test. We're all set, ready to go to show the program tonight. We have some incredible stuff. We have about 8 students that we're going to watch live and then a bunch of experts. If you're a parent, this is the program for you. If you're enjoying this, share it with some people on DMs on Instagram while it's live. They can go back and watch it. Also, Facebook and YouTube as well. All right, everyone, without further ado, we're going to dive on into it. Hello and welcome, everyone, from the school districts that we support here at smartsocial.com. We will be ready to go. So let me know if you can see us in that chat box. I think it's open and ready to go. And here we go. So everyone, we'll dive on in. It is about 3 minutes past the hour, which is a perfect time to start. So here we go, everyone. Enjoy it. Students, do you know how much time you spend looking at your screens each day? It's probably more than you might think. For the average teen, it's 7 hours and 22 minutes. That's 43% of your waking hours. You are the one that needs to decide whether it's too much screen time or just right. But before we decide that, here's a few things to consider. We use screens for a lot of positive things, including schoolwork, outside learning, exploring hobbies, and more. Now, we don't want to take away any of those good things from you. We want you to continue to have those benefits. However, when we aren't mindful about what we're doing online, it can impact our motivation and sometimes even cause more severe issues like depression, anxiety, and more. Now let's hear from some real teens who have evaluated their own screen time.
Whenever I got up, immediately I just checked Instagram, see who would text me in group chats or private messages, and spend 3 or 4 hours on it without getting anything done in the mornings. So for me, Instagram just sucked me in. And it was also a way of making me jealous of other people and how I had to compare myself to them.
Yesterday, I spent 30 minutes on Instagram, but the day before, I spent an hour on Instagram, and that's too much. So I think a good limit or cap to time on Instagram would be around 30 minutes or even less, because at that point, it stops becoming productive.
I have argued with my mom before about my screen time, and I think she's made some really good points. So I think daily I spend around 45 to an hour on Instagram, which she thinks is quite a bit of time because it's 1 hour of the day. And some changes we've made is on my phone, I have a time limit for how much I can have on Instagram and other apps. And also she makes sure I go out a lot. I spend time doing other things, and Instagram is not like my priority always.
Students, have you ever mindlessly reached for your phone to avoid a negative feeling like stress or anger? I know I have. This is called emotional buffering, and it's something that a lot of us are in the habit of doing without even knowing. This isn't like buffering that happens when you have to wait for a video to fully load. Imagine you're in the middle of watching a really intense movie, you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, so you hit the pause button. We can do the same thing when we're feeling emotions that are hard to deal with, like stress, anger, or even boredom. One of the most common ways we buffer is we pick up our phone and we get on our favorite app. Now, buffering isn't always bad. Sometimes our brain needs a break, but we need to make sure we're getting back to the important stuff once our brain has had the chance to rest.
Emotional buffering through screen time is a temporary solution, and it often exacerbates the problem. Recognizing when we're avoiding our feelings is the first step towards change. By actively choosing healthier coping mechanisms, whether through physical activities, creative expression, or simply talking about our feelings, we can overcome the urge to buffer emotionally. It's about finding balance and facing our emotions head on. Remember, it's okay to seek help and talk about what you're going through. Finding healthier ways to cope can lead to a more balanced and fulfilling life.
A negative side, especially in school, is that it can be distracting. And if like the teacher's talking, you have your computer out, some students tend to open up YouTube and watch YouTube videos instead of paying attention. And that's very harmful for your learning and your education, and it can definitely be a big distraction.
Now let's hear from some real students who have tips on using screen time to reset when they're overwhelmed.
I actually get a lot out of scrolling through and seeing new things. When I look at Instagram, I'm seeing lots of cute animal videos of people snowboarding and ocean things that I really enjoy looking at and bring me happiness.
It's actually a tool to communicate with your friends by group chats, direct messages. Like a lot of the time, I don't get a chance to interact with my friends a lot. Instagram is a great connection so we can have group chats and talk.
The problem I see when teens use screen time to emotionally buffer is that it's a barrier. It's a barrier to dealing with the underlying emotional needs. It's a quick fix, and it masks issues like stress, loneliness, or anxiety. I've witnessed the impact firsthand. Like Alex, a high school student who loved writing. But as emotional buffering with social media became more frequent, Alex's motivation to write dwindled. The grades began to suffer, and so did the sleep. The constant comparison to others online sparked a cycle of negative feelings and self-doubt. Then there's Jordan, an avid soccer player. He used video games as an escape from the pressure of tournaments. Gradually, his training sessions took a backseat to gaming. The thrill of the game replaced the joy of real-life achievements. But there's a silver lining. With encouragement, Alex began setting a schedule for writing, using it as a healthy outlet for expression, learning the value of unplugging and rediscovering the love for storytelling. Jordan, on the other hand, realized the importance of balance. By limiting the gaming to specific times, he refocused on soccer, finding that discipline improved not only athletic performance, but also gaming enjoyment. They learned that real-life achievements were far more rewarding.
Something that helps me finish all my goals and reach everything I want is having visual reminders and listening to music that I really enjoy. I use music whenever I'm doing my calculus homework to help drown out all the random little noises, to help you really focus in, can get all those tests done a lot faster while making it more enjoyable.
There are some great techniques you can use to stay motivated, like the technique Katie just shared with us, but sometimes screen time can impact your motivation in a big way. Now, no one is immune to this. In fact, I've been there myself. A few years ago, I found myself spending a lot of time on Instagram. The app is super addictive. I was learning quite a bit of interesting information, and it felt like a stress reliever. I felt like I was still in control, so even though I knew I was probably spending too much time on my phone, I didn't see the real problem with it. Now, during the same time, I realized I wasn't being as productive at work. I couldn't figure out what was going on, and I finally realized that the amount of time I was spending on screens was having a direct impact on the motivation I had during the rest of the day. I started using a screen time management app that we'll share with you in a few minutes, and almost immediately I found that my motivation improved.
Some screen time struggles I have is screen time becoming a distraction from like chores in life. As an example, sometimes if I'm watching TV, I would go play games and then I would get distracted by the games because games are interactive and TV is just a show. So sometimes I would stay on gaming longer than I have TV time.
I have a hard time of putting the screen down because I fear of missing out on a post or a comment. It's like addicting and it consumes your brain.
This teen found that too much screen time had a negative impact, so she started a movement. Emma downloaded the Instagram app when she was 12 years old and quickly became addicted to the app. She realized that social media networks want you to become addicted, so you spend more time on the app. To counteract the negative impact she found in her own life, she started the log off movement to help teens find more balance online.
I think what individuals need to do is once a month do a 5-minute power scroll. And what I mean by that is every month what I'll do is I'll go through my Instagram and I will scroll for 5 minutes. And I will ask myself with each image, how does this make me feel? Why am I following this account? And do I want to keep following them? Am I actually benefiting from this content? That results in a lot of unfollowed accounts, it results in a clearer image for me of why I go online that guides my usage for that entire month.
Here's our favorite tools to reduce screen time. First of all, Opal. Opal blocks distracting websites and apps so you can focus. Here's one that I use. It's called ClearSpace. Now, ClearSpace is free for you to use to manage one app. And you can add more with the paid version. I do that, I pay for it, and it helps me manage all of my apps, so I limit my screen time carefully. The ClearSpace app makes Instagram fun and fulfilling while keeping it from making us less focused. It makes it easy for me to relax on Instagram or any other app and not lose track of time. Now, I was able to reduce my screen time from about 30 minutes a day down to 14 minutes a day just by using this app. I don't get paid by them, but I do pay for it, and it's helped me a lot. Freedom is another app, and it helps you plan screen time schedules or set up limits for your current screen time session. There's another one called Off the Grid. It helps you lock your phone down to take a break. You'll be charged $1 or more, or you have to watch a video ad to access your phone before your set time is over. In addition, there's something called Self-Control. This is an app. We should also have it, right? This app lets you block your own access to distracting websites. I don't know if you've ever felt that way, but I sure have. You set a time period and won't be able to access them until the timer expires, even if you restart your computer and delete the app. And last, there's an app called Forest. The Forest app has you plant a tree that slowly gets bigger the longer you stay away from distracting apps. Let's talk about productive ways to use screen time in a positive way. Now, screen time can open up amazing opportunities for you. Active screen time helps you accomplish these goals: learn a new language, teaching yourself programming, become the best player on your team, learn how to cook a delicious new recipe, explore digital art and design, use programs like GarageBand to create music tracks, virtually travel the world with tools like Google Earth or YouTube travel videos, or listen to podcasts about something you're interested in.
Some ways that I see my friends using Instagram in a positive way are by tailoring their following page so that it's full of inspiring things and things that make them happy, or by sharing their own videos and pictures to our friends and seeing other friends' videos and keeping up to date on each other's lives.
I've learned a lot about culture and travel through TikTok. There's honestly really helpful information on there. There's a lot of cons to it, but there's also a lot of pros to it. And honestly, it's almost like a community thing for people our age. I kind of wish parents knew like the social impact it has had on people our age.
This teen earned an internship at Facebook after creating an app. Now, Michael started learning how to code at 12 years old. Within a year, he launched several iPhone apps that helped his family pay the bills during a tough time. His productive screen time and hard work paid off when he got a chance to intern at Facebook. He got the internship, worked hard, was offered a job, and he became the youngest full-time engineer Facebook ever hired. And here he is with the founder of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. You can learn some terrific skills outside of school. What skills do you want to learn? Be mindful about who you subscribe to so your feed is filled with fun and productive tips and people who will help you improve. Also, learn how to master a skill that you're interested in. Explore new hobbies and find out what you need to do to get started. Discover creative projects and science experiments. You can even teach yourself how to 3D print like I did and learn what tools you need to do that, and also how to repair the 3D print machine. In addition, you can learn what you need to do to get into your dream college someday. Now at smartsocial.com, we believe YouTube can be the world's best college. You can travel the world through virtual museum tours. You can watch tutorials to learn how to create projects. You can understand your math homework by watching videos showing how to solve math problems step by step. In addition, you can watch videos of science experiments and then try them with a trusted adult. Always be safe with what you're doing. You can watch documentaries about interesting events and learn to draw by following along with drawing videos. There's so much we can learn on YouTube, and it's all free. We just need to be productive with our screen time and make sure we're purposeful with what we're doing online and what we want to learn.
So a lot of my friends are using Instagram in a positive way by using Instagram to sell their products, like for example, jewelry or art, and then they use that money from their businesses on Instagram to promote causes and to use that money to donate or go back to charity.
Tech is a tool. It's neither good nor bad, but it is a tool that can be used for good and also not so good. So if you'd like to enjoy TikTok as a family, fabulous.
Students, I want to talk to you about some tools and strategies to reduce screen time. Now, some screen time is very good for us. Active screen time can be good because we're learning, having fun, creating, and it can leave us feeling stronger after we participated in that screen time. Passive screen time is usually bad after a certain point, as it will make us feel weaker when we're done with that activity. It's fun in the first few minutes, like scrolling Instagram as you're keeping up with friends, but then we're left with less energy and motivation. I'm not saying passive screen time is terribly bad, but too much of it can leave us in less of a good state than when we started. Building websites is something you can do that is a portfolio of all of your activities, and it can last for a long time and help you to shine online, versus playing Fortnite, which may leave you feeling less focused and perhaps less relaxed after an hour or more of playing that activity.
TikTok is definitely a time suck, and once you go on, it turns minutes into hours, and it's really hard to get off of it or even notice that you've been on it for longer than you think you have.
Now, why is too much screen time bad? When our friends play Fortnite, the dopamine hit that all of us can get can be through the roof. It's a blast to play, and we all love playing with other people. It's so much fun that oftentimes we will get angry if someone tries to turn off the game, or maybe even get angry at our parents if they call us to come to dinner. That's how much fun this hit of dopamine can be on our brain. Now, knowing when to say no to the dopamine hit is a really difficult process for some. Maybe you have a friend who's addicted to their phone, their video games, or Fortnite. What happens when we spend too much time on our screens? Well, too much screen time can make it hard to fall asleep and stay asleep. Also, screen time can distract us and impact our focus, causing us to get lower grades. It can make us less social because filling too much of our day with screens can take away from time with friends and family members. It can also lead to poor health. Replacing physical activity with screen time can decrease our overall health and cause weight problems. In addition, there's mood problems sometimes. Studies have shown that excessive screen time can impact our mood and sometimes lead to anxiety and depression. Excessive social media use can lead to body image issues due to comparing ourselves with others. How much time are you spending on screens? Well, many teens aged 15 to 18 spend an average of 7.5 hours a day on screens, according to the CDC. That's 52.5 hours a week. That's 2,496 hours per year. What can you accomplish in 2,496 hours per year? Well, you have to decide what you want to be an expert on, and experts say it only takes 10,000 hours of practice to become an expert at something. What do you want to be an expert at? It could be programming, graphic design, writing, music, video game design, and there's about 100 other things that you can be very good at that can lead to an amazing career. But mastering a skill doesn't necessarily take a lifetime or 10,000 hours. Take a look at this. Playing piano is 1,000 to 3,000 hours. You can become very good at the piano with that. Learning to code is 100 to 1,500 hours. Baseball proficiency could be 1,000 to 2,500 hours. That's 1 year of replacing social media. Now, we understand you're not going to replace all of it, but successful debating, 1,000 to 2,000 hours. Mastering a new language could be 600 to 1,500 hours. What if you replaced just 1 hour of passive screen time per day and worked on learning a new skill? 1 hour a day would turn into 365 hours a year. That can help you master a new skill in just a few months.
Junior year, when I was studying for AP exams, I started following content creators that created videos to give you tips for those exams. So that's like the plus side of social media. I actually found that those videos are really helpful, and there were times when I would be taking an exam and I was able to refer to a TikTok video like in my head or remember what a TikTok video said.
How can you prevent screen time from stealing your joy? Well, first it starts with reducing a little bit of screen time. When we use tools and strategies to reduce negative screen time and limit the activities that might drain us, we then get a time to make screen time more productive. And what we do here is we use screen time to learn new skills and explore new interests, so our time online leaves us feeling organized, happy, and relaxed. Here's some tips and strategies to reduce screen time. First, you can set a timer, and it can be a physical one like an egg timer that your parents might have. You can also schedule blocks of time for passive screen time and avoid screen time outside of those hours. Ask a friend or family member to help keep you accountable. Use reminders in your apps and devices to tell you when it's time to log off. And you can use screen time apps to help you reach your screen time goals.
Having other software facilitate that will be incredibly helpful to start. So I always say Stanford Habit Lab is a great place to start. Stanford Habit Lab is an extension that provides data to you so you can indicate which apps you want to spend less time on. It will provide randomized levels of friction, so interventions between you and technology.
Some apps can make screen time more productive. For example, if you want to learn how to play the piano, you could use apps like Simply Piano or Musician. And if you want to learn how to code, you can use platforms like Code Academy, Elite Code, or even YouTube, as long as you stay focused and look at the programming videos on YouTube. If you want to learn baseball, you can do VR training apps or analysis tools. Debate team? Online forums or debate clubs on platforms like Zoom. Make sure a trusted adult knows who you're talking with and who you're debating. If you want to learn a new language, there's great apps like Duolingo or Rosetta Stone. And this is my favorite, 3D printing, where art meets engineering. You can use YouTube to learn how to set up a really affordable 3D printer. And there's apps like Tinkercad, which I use, and Cura that helps you print the objects. And YouTube is your best bet. It'll teach you how to buy an affordable 3D printer, how to build things around the house for your parents, and in addition, how to repair the machine and how to print. It's incredible. Students, we don't want to prevent you from the things you love. However, if you find that you're struggling with motivation in the real world, it may be worth looking at the ways that your screen time may be impacting your whole life, not just what you're doing online. Do you wish your family was on the same page about screen time? Maybe having less arguments or better time together? We highly suggest a media agreement or a cell phone agreement. There's lots of different names for the same thing. We have an incredible one for you, and we recommend you sit down with your kids as a family to go over all the aspects so that you're on the same page.
Parents, if you've ever thought your kids are spending too much time on screens, or you don't know what they are doing when they're just staring at their phone or their tablet for so long each day, a family media agreement might be a great place to start a family dialogue. It's never too late or too early to start an agreement, and we want to help students and parents work together to teach each other about what's fun and dangerous about technology and to set the expectations for your family.
When parents talk to their kid and about screen time as well, it just builds a better bond and connection between the child and the mom or the dad or any guardian that they have, because it just allows them to come to their parents more and know that they are open to talk to them and not so shut out from their parents.
I got my first cell phone at the age of 11, I think. I'm 13. I think for me, I think 11 was at the right age because I had to walk home from school. So I kind of used my phone as a safety hazard.
So first off, we don't hand students the key to our cars without first teaching them to drive, right? And at Smart Social, we call our kids students because they're all students of life. Now, giving someone unsupervised access to the internet, be it on a phone, a tablet, even a video game, or a school Chromebook, without establishing the ground rules and setting boundaries could be just as dangerous as just handing the teenager the keys to the car their very first time.
For me, there were a lot more restrictions when I was 12 compared to now. So my screen time was a lot more limited. After school, I had to hand over my phone first thing, and that was the end of that. But slowly, as you mature, you realize why your parents do this, and then you understand, and those restrictions slowly start to get taken.
There's so much good that our kids can gain from positive screen time, but we also know that technology can pose a real danger to a student's physical and mental well-being if we don't put some boundaries in place. Now, our goal is to help you feel more comfortable working together as a family while you help your kids learn the importance of making good choices online.
The first time I got my phone, I was 11, and I think it was too early because I wasn't responsible enough. I always lost it. I couldn't keep track of where I left it. And my advice to parents is before you give them a phone, maybe a year before, you give them something to check if they're responsible enough for a phone. Like maybe something like a walkie-talkie or something expensive to make sure they're responsible enough.
Research studies show that excessive screen time and social media use can lead to sleep issues, tech addiction, distracted driving, some social anxiety, depression, and maybe even thoughts of suicide, lack of motivation for offline activities, and a risk of contact with online predators.
We recognize that a family social media or screen time agreement won't solve all of the problems that we've discussed, but having one in place and keeping the lines of communications open with your kids can be a step towards minimizing screen time and social media issues.
I talk to my friends and they think that parents should put restrictions on kids' phone because certain things online can be a bad influence on them and it can be inappropriate.
One of our family rules is that you cannot get a phone until you are a teenager. As a teenager, because you can create accounts on social media, Snapchat, Twitter, YouTube. You can create accounts on anything because you're in middle school.
A family media agreement is essentially a contract between students and parents regarding all issues of technology use. It has to start from a dialogue between parents and students so everyone is being heard and everyone works to understand the reasons for the expectations and why we want to use our devices.
I wish my mom knew that there's actually good stuff on there too. There's funny videos.
It's actually a tool to communicate with your friends by group chats, direct messages. Like a lot of the time, I don't get a chance to interact with my friends a lot because they have different devices, let's say Samsung or Apple. So Instagram is a great connection between the two, so we can have group chats and talk.
I wish parents knew that it fosters communities amazingly. It's not just about posting, commenting, and liking. There's stories, there's messages, there's all these other parts that make it really good in order to foster a community.
So here are our 5 keys to creating a family social media agreement. Number 1 is we recommend printing at least 2 copies of the Google Doc that we have linked on our page. Then both parents and students can review the suggested points and write in their thoughts before they come together for the discussion. You can talk about what you think is appropriate and come to an actual agreement. Step number 2 is to plan to talk about all the devices in the house, not just your cell phones. Don't forget about those video game consoles, computers, tablets, even TVs or movies. We recommend that everyone starts with a screen time agreement first, then builds on additional agreements specific to the device you use. Tip number 3 is to take a break from the dialogue as anyone in your conversation starts to feel discouraged, upset, or confused. Remember, we don't jump in that car and know exactly how to make right turns and left turns and parallel park and all the rules of the road our first time behind that wheel. The more we practice good dialogue and discussion as a family, the easier this will get. Tip number 4 is that students should have a say in both the expectations and the consequences that are listed in your agreement. Part of setting the consequences is knowing that their misbehaviors are learning opportunities, but also that they must live with the outcomes that they create. Tip number 5 is to consider that the more we work together, we all learn how to make better choices on technology, and maybe even the more privileges we can earn because we're building that responsibility and we're ready for more.
I got my first phone when I was 12, so during 6th grade. And I think this is a great time to get your first phone because 6th grade is considered a transition period. And it's really when you start to mature as a person. That being said, because you are a little bit more mature, you understand responsibilities that come with having a phone, which is important to talk about when getting your first phone.
I think that teens get a bad rap sometimes. You know, there's stereotypes around them being negative and that all of their activity on social media is about them finding these dark places or these risky things, and not that those can't happen. But I'm watching some teenagers really use it for some beautiful ways of uplifting themselves and each other.
We're here to help guide students just like yours to make the right choices and hopefully help them minimize dangers online. You can find our free social media agreement templates and cell phone safety templates on smartsocial.com. Thank you so much for joining us today and for supporting the work that the Smart Social team does to keep students safe on social media so they can someday shine online. As the title of my book says, Remember to keep it light, bright, and polite online because your kids are watching. We'll see you all on the next video and at the next live event. Have a great rest of the day. All right, everyone, and welcome back. It's so good to have you. Hey, Felice asked a really good question. Congratulations, Felice. You've been selected. So we've got limiting. The question is, limiting scrolling on Instagram is one thing, but guarding against toxicity on being toxic on Instagram isn't possible as long as teens are on it, is it? Great question. There's been a problem for my child, both in being exposed to seeing toxic posts and producing it. I totally get it. So this is why I'm showing the screen right now. Let's see if we can flip-flop this and show this bigger. So what I want to show you is at smartsocial.com, your district. Felice, let me know what your district is, what district your student is with, if you could. We'll go ahead and, let me know. And then what I'd love to do as well is your district gave you a login, so you can log into Smart Social, or you can just, this one is going to be kind of free. It's called Agreement. So if you go up to our search box up at the top, you type in the word agreement, you're going to then see social media agreement templates for your family. This is amazing. And I'm going to give this one to you. Great, PAUSD. That's great. Palo Alto. We love Palo Alto. Please let your school district know. So this is how you can safeguard your students' future, but also making sure they understand how to not be toxic, how to, X, Y, and Z. So what is this? Well, as we just discussed, it's a social media agreement template. The only way to reduce the bad things on the internet is to have a strong bond with your kids, a rich dialogue. That, unfortunately, Felice, is the #1 social media safety app in the world. So you can download our full social media agreement template. Shout out to the Smart Social team for building this incredible team. And this is a couple pages that walks you through everything. Now, don't take my word for it. Go pay hundreds of dollars to a therapist to try and figure this out, or a lot of people go to their doctor, their child's doctor. It's I almost said podiatrist. I forget the name. It's been a tremendous day. So many, and the kid's doctor, right? And forgive me, but there's so many presentations today. A lot of people go to the doctor and the doctor's like, Josh, can you guys help with this? We don't know. And so we built this. You can go pay hundreds of dollars to somebody else, or I can just give this to you on our website at smartsocial.com. And we have a short one and we have a long one. Check this out. This is the short one. A little hard to see, but it's one page. And if you spend 15 minutes here, you can save thousands of dollars in heartache. I mean, literally, we tied it to $10,000 that this document's worth. Sleepless nights, issues, incidents, all these different things. And it'll walk you through, are we going to let our kids on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitter, everything else, which is now X, but you get the idea. Really powerful stuff. So I hope you'll take us up on that. I'll be putting that here in the chat box for everybody to see. This is all destinations. Those of you on YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, everywhere else, you'll see that. So that is something you all can click on. You can't really do that in Instagram. Those of you joining us live on Instagram, welcome. Once again, this document's worth a lot of money. So hopefully that helps, Felice. A little bit of, is it toxic? A rich dialogue is the only way to fix seeing toxic stuff and then participating in it. Every kid is pretty good. They just see things and they do it. They try it, right? Why wouldn't we? So that's what I want you to think about. All right, the next question. For a kid that's already addicted, what's the best approach to limit? Carolina, welcome. Carolina, let me know what school district you're in the chat box. Let me know what school district you're in the chat box. Great question. And the best way to limit it is going to come back to this free printable social media agreement. Once again, I put that chat in there. The best way to limit it is going to get the parents all on the same page. You can go spend thousands of dollars on therapy or problems or issues. We made this free for you, and so did your school district. So try this. It'll walk you through everything. Spend a little bit of time. There's some videos here that walk your family through this. It's really neat. Kudos to Beth on there. Could you spell that out, Caroline? I don't know what the letters mean. Can you spell it out? There's a lot of school districts. BRRSD. Yeah, I don't know what that means. I'm so sorry. So once again, tons of videos here, resources, great places to go. And this is going to be a really great place for a kid that's already addicted. What's the best approach? A rich dialogue starting. Maybe I'll host a parent night event. Hey, let me know in the comments. Bridgewater Regional School District in New Jersey. Awesome. Yeah, I think they're a partner. I'm not sure. Cool. So what I would love to do is maybe, and those of you in the chat box, let me know, maybe we do a dedicated parent night social media safety event around creating a social media agreement. And maybe we just dive through every piece of it. I think that we might actually do that. I might build an awesome one and let everybody register for it and so on. I think that would be really powerful. Anyways, really can't tell you enough about this. If they're addicted, I want to walk you through some of the other parts of the site as well. So let me see if I can find this tool and log in here real quick. Stand by for one quick sec. What I want to do is log in as Josh Oakes, myself, and show you the platform. So we'll give you a few things, and then we'll let you all run away. And now I got to be honest, I'm so proud of the team. We're now almost a dozen people. We're working so hard. And when people are logged in, they can enjoy the resources and videos. And if your school district has bought this for you, kudos. It's amazing. They're amazing. And if they haven't, that's fine too. But here's our family and classroom viewing, monthly short videos. These are the videos that you can see. You can see tonight's event in English, all the modules. We've really put them together. Purple is student friendly. Green is parent friendly. And then we got the full replay in English. We've got the full replay in Español. Watch this.
Desde los 12 años en sexto grado hasta noveno.
So there's lots of different languages. We have Mandarin and everything else. Pretty powerful stuff. Your school district has this for you if they've purchased it. If they haven't, Carolina, ask them if they've set up a district account. We'd love to share it with your community to help out as well. Terrific. Hey, everyone, I want to thank you for coming out. Thank you so much to... Thank you to everybody who's joined here tonight. Felice and Carolina, I will find your name in our system, send you a $5 Starbucks gift card. Please do me a favor and tell your district that you came to this. Tell somebody who emailed you, reply back that you tell them what you learned. Thank you so much, Carolina. I really appreciate it. Oh, I remember you. Yes, I remember your family. My team was asking about you and your son the other day, I think. Yeah, they're terrific. All right, you are absolutely incredible. Thanks, everybody, for coming out here tonight. And Carolina, reach out to my team. We'd love to work with you. In fact, I've got some new stuff to show you. I might even email you some good stuff. I have some ideas. All right, you're a fan of this. Thank you so much. I thank you so much. That means the world to me. All right, everyone. It's in Los Angeles. It's now 5:39 p.m. It's 8:39 on the East Coast. Thank you so much for all the support. As the title of my book says, keep it light, bright, and polite because your kids are watching. This is the end of the program. Thank you. Have a wonderful night. Tell your school district that we host events all over the country just like this. And the team spent a month editing the program. It's available in our platform, and we'll go from there. All right, everyone. Have a great rest of the evening. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Carolina. Talk to you soon, everyone. Take care. Thanks. Bye.